Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 28th of May, 2020, and this is episode 398. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. This week has been pretty, well, we've had a couple of sad things that have happened. We've lost a couple of people in our lives this week. But other than that, it has been a normal pandemic week. You have 2 weeks of school left?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're just carrying on as normal. Watching a lot of TV and doing a lot of crafting. As normal. And that's how it is. I have several, well, I have 2 finishes. Is that several?
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 finishes to show you today because Stash Dash started. And we have a few other things to talk about. We've got a pile of stuff over here on this side of me. So, we probably should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on her needles.
Okay, so I am in my Nerdbird Makery project bag. I am working on a pair of socks for my friend Mel for her birthday. This is using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles. And the yarn is, the main one on this sock is Abstract Fiber Super Sock Plus in the Summit colorway, and the toe heel cuff on this one is the Yarn Tree Silver Sparkle sock in the Dr. Donna colorway. So I have finished one sock. The second sock is the inverse. Oh, that looks so fun together. And I have like 6 rows, and I'll be ready to start the heel on this one.
Nice.
So these ones actually might be done by next episode, which is good because I have a lot of things on my stash dash list. Oh, and the stitch marker on this one is from Tilting Planet. It's got little pink stars in it, and I love it. So I am working on that, and then I picked back up my Inner Peace shawl, which is a pattern by Joji Locatelli.
You didn't write where the bag was from.
Oh, no, but I did when I did the show notes.
The bag is from Lizzie Bags on Instagram, and you got it at Vogue Knitting Live in Seattle.
Yes. That's funny because I did put it in the show notes when I was doing show notes earlier, but I didn't put it in our document of show notes. So this is the Inner Peace shawl by Joji Locatelli. I'm on US 4s, 3.5 mil needles. And the yarn, let's see. This one, the white with the black and purple, is Pandia's Jewel Snug in the Supernatural colorway. And the purple with the gold and the white is Suburban Stitcher Sock in the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park colorway. And I am ready to start the final section on this. So I have one more section that'll again be in this colorway, and it'll be like this on this end. So I probably will have this done for next week's episode, but it might not be blocked yet. So I might have to show it and then block it and then show it again. So it's fun. I love these little baubles on it, and just the beautiful texture and the wedges of color. So that oh, and this also has a Tilting Planet stitch marker. This one has rainbow colored stars in it. And that's the 2 projects that I am working on. Once I finish this shawl, the next thing I'll add, in addition to still working on socks, because I have some other pairs of socks I need to get done, is I think I probably will start on the slippers for my niece and nephew's birthdays. Mm-hmm. And work some on on whatever pair of socks I'm working on, and some on slippers every day. Especially because the slippers are done in worsted weight yarn with larger needles, and I can only do that for so long before it starts hurting my hands. So if I can do, you know, I don't know, 8 to 10 rows a day on slippers, and then also work on whatever socks I'm working on, that should be a good balance and let me get them done in a timely manner. And that is everything on my needles. But like I said, I have a couple of finishes, so let's move on to the next segment so that I can tell you about them.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
I was trying to see how many colors. Oh, and there's pink pearl hair on this. Okay, this was my first finish for Stash Dash, which, if you're new here, Stash Dash is a challenge that the Knit Girls podcast hosts every summer. And you challenge yourself. It's a competition against yourself. You challenge yourself to finish X amount of meters of yarn during the challenge. But if you finish a project that, even if it was started before Stash Dash, you get to count the whole yardage, or meterage actually, because it's in meters.
Meterage.
So this was my first finish for Stash Dash. These are birthday socks for my bestie Katie's husband Jeremy, for my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern, on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and it's got 9 different colorways in it. So you'll have to go to my Ravelry page if you want to see what they all are. I did use up a couple of these too. Colorways got used up. So there's that. And then the other thing I finished this week is my weekly preemie hat. This is number 21 for the year. For my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry on US 6s, 4 mil needles. And the yarn is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in the Semolina and Tranquil colorways. And I did something a little different on the stripe again this week. I did moss stitch.
Or seed stitch.
Yeah. So it's
first official project I ever made was in black red heart yarn with seed stitch.
That must have hurt your eyes. So in the round, it's knit 1, purl 1, and then the next row is purl 1, knit 1. So just did something a little different. So these two together put me at 327.5 meters done for Stash Dash out of my goal of 1,500 meters. And then I'll have, hopefully next week, I'll have Inner Peace done. Hopefully I'll have Mel's socks done, and I'll have my next weekly preemie hat done. So that will bump me up quite a bit, because already with, let's see, for the Inner Peace shawl, for the color I've already finished with, that's already 215.5 meters. Yep. And then the other color will be probably around the same. So that, that's a good 400 plus meters right there. And then pair of socks as well. So that is where I am with Stash Dash. It's not part of the official challenge. I've challenged myself to do some cross stitch things. So we're going to move on to the next segment, and I will tell you all about those. And now it's time for FlossTube. What are you stitching, Dammy?
I'm still stitching on Rapunzel. I've not really worked on her a bunch aside from
when we're recording
here. The end of the quarter is hard. So I'm working on, so the bits of white that are left here and her hands are all that I have left. And besides, I've got a bunch of ends that I need to do back in, and then finishing it proper. But that's all I have left. So.
Okay, tell us about where it came from and all your stuff.
So this pattern. The pattern is my unique door sign on Etsy. I am storing it away from my cat's prying eyes in this geometric cat's bag by Fat Cat Creates.
Not from her prying eyes, from her prying paws.
And her prying teeth. And my aerial needle minder, which was upside down, is from So Happy Mail Bristol on Etsy, and my snippety that I use to carry my floss just like that, Star Wars, is from Caddy Cross Stitches, also on Etsy.
Yes.
Cool.
On Etsy. And you're still waiting for your kits to come in.
Yeah, I found Animal Crossing patterns though, and Hallie has a favorite villager, and there are some really cute ones of that villager, so I might need to get some more fabric and floss.
Well, you know, I have a large collection of floss now.
Is that what that was? I thought that was Pink's treats.
It was all for Pink. I was putting it on the cards, and it was all for her.
Uh-huh.
I finished putting everything on the cards to organize my floss, but I do have a knitting project bag crammed to the top of floss that I have more than one skein of.
Mm-hmm.
So all the extras are in there.
I bet you have at least 5 310s.
Well, let's see. I can tell you.
It's supposed to be rhetorical.
Because I use the X-Stitch Plus app. Threads, DMC, cotton, 310. I have 4 skeins.
Only 4?
Yes. One of them is in my Christmas list, and the other 3 are in the duplicates bag. Because, see, I am organized.
Can I scroll through that while you talk about your cross stitch and see what the one you have the most of?
Yes.
Oh, I made it go away.
Tammy.
I don't know how it works.
There you go.
Okay.
It'll say over there on the side.
I know. Wait, is that what quantity means?
I was meaning you didn't have to like read underneath where I type stuff in. Okay. Let's talk about my cross stitch because I have 4 things to show you. So first up in my project bag by the 805 Stitcher, using a snippety by Caddy Cross Stitches. Which one is this? This is the flower one. I have my Christmas list. I'm looking for the picture. There we go. The goal for this with Stash Dash is, this is by Silver Creek Samplers. The goal is to finish this by the end of Stash Dash, and what I'm about to show you is I've done gingerbread this past week. So I have the stockings, I have the alarm clock and the bed, the angels, Christ is born, Christmas, all gift for all, and Christmas morn. So I have from here down plus hang your stockings. And unfold. Here we go. This is a 28 count even weave. I believe it's from Hobby Lobby, maybe? No, maybe from Joann's. From somewhere. And I'm using the called for colors, DMC, and there is gingerbread. And yeah, so like I said, my goal is to have this done by the end of Stash Dash. I figured up how much I needed to do when, but now I can't remember. I think I need to do a section every other week.
Ready to hear the color you have the most of?
Yes, I'm ready.
Number 828, Ultra Very, Very Light Blue, which you're currently using in Edinburgh Castle.
And how many skeins do I have?
6!
That's really good because that's that bright blue I'm stitching with right now.
Wait, is it the bright blue or is it the light blue that's almost white?
No, it's the bright blue.
Oh.
I think.
It just says Ultra Very, Very Light Blue.
I think it is the one I'm
Maybe
stitching
you
with
can
now.
show... No, you won't bring it up. Never mind. Take that. Merry Christmas. Now you know. Blue is a great color.
Yes. Okay, so there's that. And then in my little Notions pouch by Pearl Girl Buttons, I'm working on the third Pusheen from the Pusheen Cross Stitch Kit. So it's going to look like that when it's done.
It's so cute.
I'm doing it on the 14 count Ada that came with the kit, as well as with the 4 colors that came with the kit. And there's where I am.
It's so itty bitty.
It is. So I'm working on this only during Stitch With Me's on Mondays. So what I have left is to use, do you see that gray color right there?
Where?
Where my fingernail is?
Now I see it. I thought it was brown.
So that gray color right there, I need to do the stripes in the tail, and then everything else is the tan of the body. I'll just be filling in.
The tan of the body.
So, there is that. And then I am working on in my project bag by Stitch Toolbox, my Outlander to Better to Sleep project bag. And every time I open this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I so much love this zipper pull. I am using my Star Wars Snippety in this. I am doing Hildy's Brew by Michelle Bindi Stitchy Designs.
This is 828.
Yeah, that's the one I'm using right now, the bright one.
Okay, you said bright blue, and I was like, I feel like you stitched with the brighter blue. And I'm like, what?
No, I'll show you in just a minute. I'm using the called for colors except for one color that I didn't have, which is weird. I'm using 3828 instead of 3827. I know. And I'm doing this on Fortnite Fabrics. It's a 28 count even weave. It's from their Fabric of the Month Club, February 2020, Hen of the Woods.
It's so pretty.
I am debating ripping out the chimney and the door and the shoes and the dress and doing it in a paler gray, because I feel like the gray is really, really close to the color of the fabric.
I can see it. I think it's good. It's got a more blue undertone than the fabric.
Okay.
And so then it pops out.
Because
I would at least try and finish, like start doing the head or anything. Since I would at least try to finish the dress and then start on her body and then see how it looks together before you rip it out. Since the dress isn't that many stitches.
Yeah. Because the rest of the dress is like that, and then most of her hat is like that color.
I can see it, and I think it's a good color.
Okay. I like the color. I was worried about it.
I love this fabric. It's so pretty. I love the neutrals.
It is very pretty, but it's so hard to see because it's so dark.
As she keeps saying, because I'm the one who told her to stitch on it.
Every night when I pull it out to stitch on it.
Oh, like, it's so dark. I can't see it. I need some better light.
Okay, so with the section that I finished on my Christmas list and what I did on my Pusheen on Monday, so this does not include any of the Hildy's Brew stitching, I am sitting at 435 stitches out of 20,000 done. Nice. But Hildy's Brew is going to give me quite a few because I've done them. I haven't updated. I was waiting to update it till I finished it since it's not a huge piece. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So my goal for everything other than Edinburgh Castle is to do 20,000 stitches. Okay, and then my final thing that I'm working on, of course, is in my Knit Run Dig Winnie the Pooh project bag. I'm using the Pattern Keeper software on the Kindle Fire 7 to stitch this. So this is what I'm working on. This is Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery. Yeah, 828. Yeah, R. That's the one I'm working on. That's this one right here.
Okay.
Which is brighter blue compared to that.
Okay.
That's the color right there that Dammy and I've been talking about, 828. So there's that. So last week when I showed you this, I was at 7,200 stitches, which is what you're seeing on the screen right now. And this week, I am now at 8,600 stitches out of 265,824.
I like to touch it. It feels good.
Don't push too hard on the fabric. That puts me at 3.235% complete.
Wait, 3.325?
3.235.
Oh man.
The grime guard is from Crab Shack Stitchery, and the needle minders are from Top Knot Stitcher, and I'm using a Snippety from Catty Cross Stitches as well. Okay, so for Stash Dash, my goal is to do 18,000 stitches, because I do 200 stitches a day. So, Stash Dash started on Friday, so I have done 1,200 stitches on that. This, because I haven't stitched for today yet. So, but I'm going to have to, like, shift my fabric soon. Because this is all the excess fabric that comes out this way.
I like to touch it. It feels good.
So...
Oh, I can see, like, is that, like, natural variation in the floss, or is it, like, from oils on your hand?
Probably oils on my hand, plus you're also seeing the lines, the grid lines.
Makes it look cool.
Yeah, so I'll be able to stitch this column, but I don't know if I'll be able to stitch this column with the fabric right there, so I may have to shift it. So that is where I am at. So I will finish another column today. Because I do 2 squares every day. I think this is another row of the blue, this brighter blue, and then I think the rest of it is all this blue for today. I'm going to be doing, where'd it go?
8 for 9 years?
I'm going to be doing that color for a while longer. And then I'll be doing a ton of this blue.
But then just think how refreshing it will be when you get to this white. And then when you get to brown.
I know. Because, like, page 1, or the first row of pages goes to about right there. So I will get to stitch on some of the castle.
Castle.
Eventually. This pattern has 60 pages. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm still participating, of course, in Semi-Sane Stitchers, which is a challenge group on Facebook. I'm doing the Background Certificates Challenge. I'm doing the Mapping Your Literary Journey Challenge, which I'm about to finish another book.
Nice.
Because I chose to do all of my Edinburgh Castle stitches on a separate book. And I'm about to finish that book of stitching. So, and then this month I'm participating in Stitchopoly. And I've rolled the dice like 50 some odd times. And gotten quite a few entries into the giveaways. So, that is everything for FlossTube. We don't have any cross-stitch content in Yummies. But you should stay tuned. You should just keep watching because we're fun, right? We're likable. Don't you love us? I think Dammy is ready to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things. Things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. So first up, we had our monthly knit crate come in. We received this for free in exchange for sharing it with y'all on the episode. So this month's theme was blank canvas. And it is a do-it-yourself dye situation. So we received 2 skeins of yarn, and they are a 2-ply superwash undyed sock yarn, 100% superwash merino, fingering weight, 399 yards, 365 meters, 100 grams each. And with it, they sent orange and cherry Kool-Aid, and also these
Cable ties.
they're cable ties so that you can be able to hang it up to dry.
Cable ties.
Or, yeah, the zip ties, that's what they're called. So that you can hang it up to dry after you dye it. And we will be... There's also videos to help you... I'm going to show that in a second. There's videos to help you dye. And we are going to be using this as a giveaway for our 400th episode.
Wow!
Because our 400th episode is in 2 weeks.
Wow!
So,
just don't eat the Kool-Aid, drink the
I
Kool-Aid
won't.
before you dye your yarn.
they also sent this,
Smiley face.
it's a smiley face, Post-it note situation that I'm keeping because I'm addicted to Post-it notes. Situation.
Post-it note pad.
Situation that I'm keeping because I'm addicted to Post-it notes. So, yeah, there's this. They also give us a coupon code for y'all. All the details are in the show notes at
GeekyGirlsKnit.com.
The coupon code is all capital letters Geeky20, GEEKY20, and that will get you 20% off your first order. It will work to discount the first month of a recurring monthly subscription and for any of their shop items. So, in addition to this, we're still in the midst of planning for our 400th episode, which is in 2 weeks. But Soundview Fiber Mill, which is the fiber mill that I work for, is going to be doing 2 giveaways for us. One giveaway will be the winner will get to choose 2 skeins of yarn from from the mill's store, and the other giveaway will be 2 bumps of roving.
Ooh.
So that's 3 giveaways, and what we're going to do is we will do a giveaway thread for each of the giveaways so that you can enter the ones you want to. Because I don't want somebody to win the roving and then them not spin.
Yeah.
So, and then we haven't decided what other we're going to be doing. We might do ebooks or patterns from us. We'll see. We haven't decided yet. But that is upcoming. And I don't know what the theme for next month is. And they so they didn't do new patterns this time. They re-released older patterns that would work with this yarn base. So they're ones that we've showed y'all before. So, and that was because of the pandemic. That's the reason they also did the bear yarn, was because of the pandemic and that whole situation. So, you said you had something for Yummies?
I have Animal Crossing. Let me know if you want to visit my island. I will have you put my code in the show notes.
Okay, I'm going to write myself a note right now because I'll forget otherwise. Animal Crossing. What is your island called?
It's called Edinburgh.
Well, fancy that.
Yeah.
You know, seeing as how we lived there for 4 years.
My flag is pink.
In her bow tie?
Yes. Yeah. I have oranges and windflowers.
Windflowers?
Mm-hmm. Those are my native fruit and flowers.
I've never heard of windflowers. Do they blow in the wind?
I mean, yeah.
That was a joke. What other things do you have on your island? I mean, like, what have you built?
I have everyone's houses. I'm in the midst of trying to decorate my house. I've got all the rooms in it, and now I just need to pay off the loan for the basement.
Oh dear. What is going to be?
There's no interest on it, though.
What is going to be in the basement?
Probably gifts for my villagers.
So you're going to have a gift storage room?
Yes.
Okay.
I've got a study on my top level that only has 2 things in it right now. I have a kitchen with a bunch of things sitting on the floor because I only have 1 table. I have a bathroom with only a bidet and a towel rack because that's all I have.
That's not very useful.
I know. And then I have a turnip room where I drop my turnips.
Why?
To keep them safe until I sell them.
Oh, okay. I don't play Animal Crossing because I don't have the thing. So I only know what I have seen and heard. So.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. Well then let's talk about hashtag #GGKCraftyPad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
So we are finishing up the month of May, obviously, which was Emotion, Shapes, and Miscellaneous. We've released our June list, and the theme is Summertime and the Living is Easy. Because our Summertime Owl starts on Monday. June 1st is Monday. So, yeah. So, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Great job, everybody. So it's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. Do you know today's?
No. Dozen. It's dozen.
You interpret that however you like. We're very cheater friendly on this.
My cat has a dozen beans. Plus some.
As I said, cheater friendly. You post it on Instagram. Make sure in your caption you use hashtag #GGKCraftyPad because that's how we find your photo and yours might get chosen.
I have at least a dozen brain cells.
I hope
Sometimes.
I hope you have more than that. If you are participating in GGK Crafty Pad and you have a private account on Instagram, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you because otherwise we can't see your photos. So send her a message and she will follow you. Upcoming events, Grazing Hill Fiber Fest in Viola, Idaho, Saturday and Sunday the 11th and 12th of July. It's still up in the air whether I'm attending or not. But I'm supposed to be teaching continental knitting class on Saturday from 10 to noon. I have to make my decision official by the 15th of June. So we will know one way or another whether I'm going by then. So. Okay, I think we are ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
What are you reading, Dammy?
So I am still reading The Dobie by Richard B. Lee, The Cherry Orchard by Anton Chekhov, and Hamlet by Shakespeare, and then a new one, it's just Dutchman by Amiri Baraka. And these are all for school. And then I'm also reading The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katingo.
I know with all of that reading that you're doing for school, you are getting in more than 15 minutes a day.
I need to read 8 more chapters of Acts and do my homework on it before tomorrow morning.
You could do it.
Then I need to also do readings from our cultural anthropology reader and from the Dobie for a quiz tomorrow morning.
Sounds like you're going to
I always put it off until Thursday night.
Sounds like you're going to be doing a lot of reading tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what am I referencing with 15 minutes a day?
The April, May, June read-along.
Wow. This is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. There is a finish line thread in the Ravelry group where you post once and then edit your post. You, by participating in the seasonal along RAL, you earn entries into our year-long challenge. Wow. And the beginning of 2021, we will have 3 grand prize winners. There's ways to earn bonus entries. All the details are in the show notes and in the Ravelry group. Okay, what I am reading. I'm still reading Fibershed, Growing a Movement of Farmers, Fashion Activists, and Makers for a New Textile Economy by Rebecca Burgess. I think I'm at around 60% done. I've been reading a lot this week about hemp. And like how it was not allowed to be grown here in the U.S. for a long time because of drug connotations. And so now there's been some changes in legislation. Yeah, it's been interesting. It continues to be interesting reading. I am also reading nonfiction-wise Hidden Figures by Margot Lee.
Where is it?
Right here.
Margot
Lee Shetterly.
It's Margot.
Okay. Margot Lee Shetterly. This is
there's a movie.
It is, but it is the story of black women working for what was before it was called NASA, whatever it was called before that, as human calculators. And well, I'll go ahead and talk about this now, even though it's down later in the show notes. I'm rereading the Lady Astronaut series by Mary Robinette Kowal. I finished rereading book number 2, and book 3 comes out this summer. But a lot of she writes a lot in the fiction books, the Lady Astronaut books, about women serving as human calculators for the space program. And she actually talks a lot in the
Introduction.
not well, I don't think it was in the introduction. I think there was like
Preface?
like notes at the end, and there's I think there was also like a bibliography of things she referenced as well. But she that the Hidden Figures definitely influenced some of the stuff that she wrote about. So I'm reading that. I'm continuing to reread the 5th book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast, and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. This week is the Hogwarts High Inquisitor, and Swish and Flick broke it up into 2 again, so next week will still be the same chapter. Harry got detention again from Umbridge. There was the thing in the Daily Prophet about Umbridge is now the High Inquisitor and all of that. And then we see Umbridge in all the in several of the classes, observing and taking notes. And McGonagall's like, we're not playing this. She doesn't really say that, but that's what she's thinking.
She should turn into a cat and scratch her.
Yes. I was telling somebody in knitting group last night, I can't remember what episode of Swish and Flick it was on, but they had a discussion at some point. It wasn't a recent one, but it's been a few back, I think. They were having a discussion about whether Voldemort or Umbridge was more evil.
I
know. And there was mixed opinions on it because, and I think, Voldemort is just like upfront about what he's doing. I mean, he's evil. We know he's evil. But Umbridge tries to pretend like she is a nice person when she's not. So, anyway. I finished listening to book number 7 from the Charlie Davidson series by Dorinda Jones. This has got adult content in it. It's about a woman who's a private investigator, but is also the Grim Reaper. They got married. She and the son of Satan.
Okay.
Got married at the end of the book. And we also found out her dad was murdered at the end of the book.
Oh.
So that'll be what the next book's about, I'm assuming. I'm reading the Cormoran Strike series by Robert Galbraith, which is J.K. Rowling. I finished reading book 2 and I'm reading book 3. He's a private investigator.
It's J. O'Braith.
Okay. I can't pronounce names. He's a private investigator, and he lost part of his leg in the military serving. And he's also the son of a rock star, but was not brought up in that life. And so, yeah. And then he's got this woman that was hired originally to be his secretary that has kind of turned into his partner in investigating, which is cool. But she's going through life issues in book 3. And I already told you all about the Lady Astronaut series, and then I'm reading the Cat Who ... series by...
The Cat Who Ate a Fish.
No, that wasn't this book. By Lillian Jackson Braun. I finished reading book 22, which was...
Yes, do tell. We need to know what cats do.
Yes, you do.
In their spare time.
Let's see. This one was...
It's Goodreads book.
It just is taking a second to load. Or is our internet broken?
Uh-oh.
The Cat Who Robbed a Bank.
Kitty!
It's okay, it was a piggy bank. It
Kitty,
wasn't really...
you took some child's allowance. I hope you're so angry at yourself. Bad kitty.
No. Yeah, and solved a... The kitty is so smart and solved a murder mystery.
Good kitty.
Good kitty. And that is everything that I am reading. I have quite a few things in my to-read thing because all of a sudden all my holds have come in at the same time. And J.K. Rowling does not write a short book. So, Okay, watching. I finished watching season 2 of The Rookie. It ended on a cliffhanger.
Oh dear.
Because Nathan Fillion's character has been framed for being a bad cop by the real bad cop. I started watching a series called Whitechapel. It's a British series. I watched... What is she doing?
She sniffed the couch and went,
Oh, now she's yawning.
oh!
Pink Pearl the cat is who we were talking about.
She's kind of bored.
Whitechapel. I watched series 1 and 2 because each of those series only had 3 episodes and they were only 45-minute episodes. So it was really fast, but it's a series from like the late aughts and the early 2010s. And it is about like copycat crimes. So like the first series was a copycat Jack the Ripper killer. And then the second series was a copycat. It was twin brothers. And it was like gangland murders and such. So I've been watching that. Do you want to talk about a couple things?
So we finished season 6 and now we're on to rewatching season 7 of Frasier.
Actually, we're almost done with season 7. I think we only have like 4 episodes of season 7 left. Well, when they're 20-minute episodes and when there's almost no new TV on, we end up binging Frasier in the evenings. So.
And Cabin Fever by John Fenimore, which is based off Cabin Pressure, which he wrote.
This week's episode was the taking different books and making them into a new book.
Mm-hmm.
It was very funny. It's on YouTube. You should go watch it. We watched the season 3 finale of The Masked Singer.
Who is that?
I was very happy that the frog ended up in 3rd place because I didn't feel like he should have made it as far as he made it. And then I kept going back and forth between the Night Angel and Turtle. But the Night Angel is the one who won. So, and it's planning to come back this fall. Depends on life in a pandemic. I am watching season 7 of The 100. It's the final season. I have an episode to watch. It was on last night. So, and then I'm watching season 6 of The Good Witch. I don't really have anything to say about it. It's just feel-good TV. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. final season started back last night, so we will watch that tonight. I was trying to remember what happened at the end of season 6. They went back in time.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
Yeah, so. And then listening to my favorite murder podcast, of course. CC's Faves playlist on Spotify. Other random Spotify playlists for me. What about you?
Spotify playlists, Cabin Pressure, my Songs of Resilience is linked in the show notes.
That's right. Okay, well that is everything that we are reading, watching, and listening to. So we should move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Owl. So this runs through the 1st of March through the 31st of May, which is Sunday. Which means Sunday is the last day to post your projects.
Or Monday morning before I wake up.
I was trying not to make it complicated. So on June 1st, you can't post your projects anymore. So the details about this are, you should know, it's for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to spring. No whips, no earlier than the 1st of March. You can't finish it later than the 31st of May because the thread will be closed. If your project is not at least 20 yards, group it in a single post together with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. You can feel free to poly dip and other make-alongs as long as it fits in with their rules. We have our lovely prizes on the screen. We will be announcing the winners of those on our next podcast episode.
Episode 399.
Yep. You must be a member of our Ravelry group in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you want to tag your projects or post on social media. GGKCS Spring 20. And again, the FO thread is going to be locked on the morning of the 1st of June. So get your projects in there. And then there's a chatter thread on Ravelry.
If you win, you have 30 days.
If you win, you have 30 days to claim your prize or you forfeit it. There's a chatter thread on Ravelry where you can post your progress and where I congratulate people. But I also do that here. So, D-Door4, DG White, Elsa and M, I Now Our, Fun Friend, Keeney 1007, Knit Girl Wagner, Knitter Chow, Lil Angel SG2, Meditative Crafter, Mystery Sewer, Panushka, Shirley Knits 123, and Yo Cat 2.
Great job, everybody. So when this goes live, you have 3 days left to finish your projects and get them posted, and you might be a winner next week. But since this OWL is ending, that means we're starting a new one. So let's talk about it.
And now we're going to talk about our June, July, August
Summertime and the living is easy.
OWL. So this is a make-along. It's a craft-along that runs through the 1st of June through the 31st of August. And it is for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to summer, even if you live in the southern hemisphere.
If somebody is new here, would you tell them how they could relate it to summer?
By your project's color, colorway name, purpose, pattern, pattern name, design element, or the fact that you made it in summer.
Yes.
So the same rules from our earlier OWL apply. No whips are allowed. Project can't have been begun before the 1st of June, then finished no later than the 31st of August. And if your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post together with other projects that total 20 yards. And for stitching and sewing projects, we leave it up to your best judgment. You can feel free, again, to polydip in other craft-alongs, as long as if it's in with their rules, that's totally fine. Let's talk about prizes. Thank you so much to all our donors. If you want to see these more in detail, you can tune into the first podcast of every month-ish. We will talk about them next week, but, or go to our show notes, geekygirlsknit.com. If you would like to see where these prizes came from. If you're interested in donating a prize, you can PM Java Pearl on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com.
Well, let's talk about the prizes that we have picked for the summertime OWL. Do you want to start or you want me to?
Sure. So we have a Hildy Strawberry Patch. It's a cross-stitch pattern by Bendy Stitchy Designs. And it was donated by Tyra, who is Raven Diva.
Yes. We have 2 skeins of Labribus Light Alpaca. Okay. Light Alpaca in the Dogwood Berry colorway. 2 winners will each win 1 skein.
We have a Clark I'm Flying cross-stitch kit that was donated by Lori, who is Lavissa.
We have a Barocco Local Yarn Store Day 2019 pattern booklet.
We have Uru Yarn by Knit Crate Silk DK in the Enlightened colorway. There are 2 skeins, so 2 winners will each win 1 skein.
And finally, we have Moda Day Sassy Stripes DK in the Stormy colorway. There's 2 skeins, but they're 50-gram skeins, so 1 winner will win both of them. And they were donated by Trisha, who is PAZ Scott on Ravelry. And again, thank you to our donors for sending us prizes to give away to y'all.
So, you must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. The ridiculously long hashtag for this is GGKCS Summertime 20.
Yes.
The FO thread will be locked on the morning of the 1st of September, and winners will be drawn on the podcast following that. And any winners have 30 days to claim their prize, or they forfeit it. And again, there is a chatter thread on Ravelry. It's just not been. We know it's unlocked.
It's unlocked, but the
FO thread is locked.
Yeah. So I will unlock the FO thread on Monday morning when I lock the spring FO thread. So start brainstorming, figure out what projects you're going to do for summertime, and you can get those started on Monday morning or at 12:01 a.m. on Monday if you want to stay up. It's up to you. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them. I'm bad at pronouncing K's.
Apparently, we can't say the word geeky very well.
This was the subject of a whole nother episode. The title was named after it and everything.
Why did we name ourselves Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch?
So this question was originally asked and answered in 2015. And it's from Katie, who is Catherine Ann from Pennsylvania. I am fascinated at how adept you both are at knitting and chatting at the same time without looking down at your project. I imagine that if you were to add chewing gum and writing a unicycle to the mix, you'd still not drop a stitch. How do you do it?
I cannot ride a unicycle.
Neither can
No.
I can chew gum.
I can do that, yes. Practice. Practice is what it is. And having projects that are simple enough that you either... I have to look when I'm doing lace. Or, like right now, I'm started on the heel, and I'm having to look because I'm doing a wrap and turn, and I cannot do that without looking at it. But it's just choosing projects that are simple enough that... And getting to a place where your hands are used to that rhythm. I know I've said this a zillion times before, that I can take a pair of socks, obviously not when I'm working on the toe increases or the heel wrap and turns, or actually I do shadow wraps, but I can take a sock on my 9-inch Zoom needles into the cinema and stitch on it in the dark. And usually I don't make a mistake. Every once in a while, I'll have an issue. Usually it's because I've split a stitch. Mm-hmm. But it's just practice and feeling comfortable with the craft. What do you say?
Reading or knitting with your fingers.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That too. So now, obviously, other crafts you have to look. Mm-hmm. Cross stitch, obviously. Sewing, obviously. But something like knitting where your fingers can be able to read your what you're doing and doing something that's simple, it makes it where we can do it. So, what about y'all? Do you have to look at your knitting if you are a knitter, or are you able to not look and craft? I'm doing another shadow wrap. Yeah, so I think we answered the question. Thank you to Katie for that question. Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it, or post in the comments of this YouTube video, and we will move that question to our thread to be answered.
That's right. All right. Well, I think we are ready to move on to the next segment. Well, with that, we have made it to the end of the show, even though we can't talk. Just a reminder that this coupon code, it ends on Sunday. So Threads Entwined, we have a coupon code for 15% off through the end of May 2020. The coupon code is lowercase Geeky15, Geeky15.
What is it?
Geeky 15. The link to the store is in the show notes at
geekygirlsknit.com.
And again, thanks to Threads Entwined for giving us that coupon code. Do we have any other announcements?
No.
How many more times am I going to make you say geeky?
Too many.
We'd like to say a huge thank you. We love you guys. To everyone who supports the podcast, however it is you support us, we are grateful for each and every one of you. We wouldn't be doing this podcast if it wasn't for you. This is not totally on topic, but it just popped in my head. I wanted to say thank you to my friend Amy from Cross Stitch Group. She started her own FlossTube, and her first episode went up this week. It's called Globetrotting Stitcher, and she gave us a shout out.
Oh.
So, thank you, Amy. So that's 3 of us in my cross stitch group now that have floss tubes. So, so thank you to everyone who supports the podcast, but especially thank you to those of you who support us financially, because it does cost money to do a show. And there are 3 main ways you can support us financially if you're so inclined. The main one is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on the level you donate at. Let's see, I will be doing rewards on. It won't be next week. It'll have to be it'll be next weekend, because it's usually the 6th when the money comes through. So we make sure that everybody who donates, that their donation processes through correctly, and we will be then sending out whatever rewards are due. Dammy, if somebody would like to know more about this or would like to sign up, where should they go?
Patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What is another way?
There's a PayPal on the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you are going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our site first and then do your shopping, we earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway. There's links in the sidebar and at the bottom of our show notes on our website. Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are links to everywhere else we're online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Yes. Well, with that, we hope you have a lovely weekend ahead and a great week next week. Stay safe, stay healthy. Consider others' health and safety as you make decisions about what you are doing. And until next time, which will be Monday, I'll be doing a stitch with me, and then next Friday, the new episode 399 will release. Mm-hmm. So until then, happy crafting. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
So I ordered a fan for our bedroom so that we wouldn't have to move one back and forth between the living room and the bedroom. There's not a fan inside. What's in this box?
Kitty butt.
Oh no! What is it? What is it? It's a kitty butt. Hi, Pinky. Did you get a new box? Is it nice and big and long for you? 'Cause you're a long baby. Hi, honey. Did Mama buy you a box? Who cares what was inside? It's a box for Pinky. Oh no! This fan attacks people.
Oh no! You're being so gentle, thank you. Oh.
Amazon sure sends silly fans. Do you oscillate? Excuse me, ma'am. Do you oscillate?
It's a big word.
Do you oscillate?